ドジャースの大谷翔平投手は、日本時間29日、敵地で行われたロイヤルズ戦に、1番、投手兼指名打者で先発出場しました。投手としては、MLB 公式戦における自己最速となる 101.7 マイル、約 163.7 キロを計測。復帰後3度目の登板で、初めて2イニングのマウンドにも上がり、2回27球を投げて1安打無失点、1奪三振の好投を見せました。1回裏の先頭インディアに対し、3球目に 100.1 マイル、約 161.1 キロを記録し、5球目でセンターフライに打ち取りました。続くウィットにはレフト前安打、ガルシアには四球を許して 1C1 塁のピンチを招きましたが、4番パスクアンティーノを自己最速の 101.7 マイルの速球でセカンドゴロゲッツーに仕留め、無失点で切り抜けました。続く2回は、センターフライ、空振り三振、キャッチャーフライと三者凡退に抑えました。この日は試合前の中継番組でも大谷の登板が大きく取り上げられ、特にベシア投手のインタビューでは、翔平は本当に特別な存在。それでも話しかけづらさは全くないんですと語り、大谷の実力だけでなく人柄にも言及する場面がありました。試合後も、MLB 公式戦での自己最速となる 101.7 マイルの速球に注目が集まり、大谷の回答が大きな話題となりました。これらの様子を日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
We can all get excited because it's Otani Day, Jerry. The third time we're seeing the big show do double duty on the field.
I cannot wait for him to lead off the game, hopefully gets on base, scores a run, do electrifying things with a bat, and then bottom half of that first inning, do his thing on the mound.
Yeah, I mean, just do what you did yesterday. Just lead up for a home run so you get time to come back. I know it's hot out there, so you can cool off and get yourself ready to go out there and pitch a scoreless inning.
Yeah, you can't complain about a lack of run support. He can literally give himself run support there in the first inning.
Exactly. Yeah, there's nobody to blame but himself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so he's going to go. He's going to get into the second inning if that first inning doesn't get too stressful or not inefficient. So the plan is he's going to go 2 innings for us today.
Is it a more real conversation to talk about him leading off or not leading off when he starts to get into being a normal starter out of the rehab process?
Yeah. Yes. I think right now, certainly it's going to be hot out there. I mentioned the conversation I had with him about hitting leadoff, which he feels very comfortable still doing. So that's going to be fluid as far as kind of his position in the order and kind of how we use him on the hitting side with the pitching.
Thing with Otani easier to do on the road when he's pitching, or does it not make a difference?
I don't know that answer, and I think we can have our thoughts on home road. I'd like to know that from Shohei, to be quite honest, because, to warm up in the pen, to come into the dugout, be the first hitter of a ball game, to then go take the mound versus warm up in the pen, come in the dugout, take the mound, and then go right to the on-deck circle. I don't know what's more challenging. I probably should ask him.
We don't see pitchers do this where they're making their rehab starts at the big league level, but then again, there's nobody doing what Shohei does in the game today. Nomar, what are you hoping to see out of Shohei in this third start on the mound this year?
Well, one, obviously, we're looking for efficiency, so hopefully he can go more than 1 inning, because we heard Dave Roberts talk about it. Like, if he has an inning where he's struggling and gets up to quite a few pitches, then that may be all he has today. But if he's efficient, probably get 2 innings. That's what you at the very least like to see. Maybe he might push him to 3. I doubt it. I think because, we know Dave Roberts is really big on the whole how many times a pitcher sits up, gets down, gets on the mound, what they call the up downs and everything. So that matters. But hopefully he can go out there and get 2 scoreless innings, which will help the team. And then hopefully on the offensive side, obviously help them put up some runs and get on the board early.
Yeah, I love the adjustment he made from his first start to his second start. The first start, he didn't really have glove side command. He made that adjustment. He does have glove side command. Now use his breaking ball. That split finger he has is absolutely nasty. Biggest thing, efficiency. Get in that second inning, hopefully with unscathed, no runs given up. But more importantly, using all his pitches as he builds up for his next start.
We just jump on Shohei's back, and he will take us to the promised land. And Shohei did that last night with a leadoff home run to start the game, Jared. Then he had the game-tying RBI triple in the fifth. He has 10 RBIs during this modest 5-game hitting streak.
I love the humility from Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts can also carry a franchise, but obviously Shohei Otani has been on a tear, swinging the bat. Saw that home run, light tower power. Also that triple in that ball game. Does it with the bats, does it with his speed as well. Just love his swing, especially getting on top of the high fastball. In order for him to get on top of that fastball, or anybody get on top of that fastball, the high fastball, you have to be able to use your top hand. He did that very well that swing.
Well, we talked about the size of this ballpark, right? And that it is made for triples. You know, you can get some triples. You know, obviously, you know, we were talking about now, not easy to hit a home run, but the Dodgers apparently made that look small yesterday with Shohei and Max Muncy. But at the same time, hitting the ball in the gap, showing off that speed. So, you know, hopefully more of the same.
Nomar, it's always a special day when we get a chance to watch someone like Shohei Otani, who they'll be talking about for decades, many decades to come, that we were there to be able to watch him do both hit and pitch.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. It is always fun to watch the Big Show and what he brings to Major League Baseball. I mean, let's not forget, yeah, he's done this before, we understand, but coming off the injury here he is in the Dodger uniform, so hopefully he has a good outing.
He's the Big Show for a reason. I mean, he's going to take the hill, start the game for the Dodgers, and also lead off this game. So hopefully he has a big day at the plate and is very productive on the mound.
And it is his third start of the season on the mound, but it's his first one on the road, something he did 39 times with the Angels, where he batted in the first inning, Nomar. Then he takes the mound in the bottom of the first inning. So what are some of the challenges you think he might face this afternoon doing that for the first time?
You know, when he's coming off such a major injury, a lot of times, you know, you're comforted at home just based on what you have available to you to get yourself ready for a game. You know, whether it's going out there from just pitching in a simulated game, but also from a start. And on the road, you don't necessarily have those same comforts or those same things that you're maybe used to having available to you. So that's one that you just kind of say, okay, what adjustments do you have to make when you're on the road, which might be a little bit different than in the years past because of where he is coming from that injury. The other thing then, too, is just, you know, what are you doing as far as you're getting prepared for the game? Do you shorten that a little bit just so you can have some time to come rest, and especially when you are leading off the game and having to be ready so fast? So those might be some unique things that he didn't maybe experience quite in the past. Yes, he's hit in the first inning, but not necessarily just let off that way.
I wonder what his routine is going to be on the mound in the bullpen. Does he throw less pitches because it is really hot and humid there?
Yeah.
And you got to go there. Maybe if he throws 25, 35 pitches to get ready for a game, maybe you shorten that.
Yeah.
Is it 15, 20? And then you're leading off in about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, you're the leadoff hitter, so I wonder if he's going to change your team a little bit because it is so hot and muggy there.
You know, we heard Dave Roberts getting asked about that. You know, do you change where he is in the lineup? Do you start thinking about that later on? And I think they should. I honestly, it's something to consider. Doing that for that reason, maybe give him just a little bit of a rest. And the other thing, too, you have a guy who likes hitting off, who's struggling right now, is Mookie Betts. So I mean, it's just food for thought, obviously, that might help both of these guys.
Look, as awesome as Ben Kasparius has been all year long, and the Dodgers expect to see him at some point today, all the attention, all the focus is on Shohei Otani in his third start of the season. What do you want to see from him as they continue these slow build-up?
Well, I think I've mentioned it before. It's like climbing a ladder, and it's step by step. The interesting thing that we're going to see today is compared to his last start, he only saw left-handed hitters. So the pitch mix was probably a little different than what it's going to be today. Also, again, more efficient in his last start. Look to see him be even better in this one. Last thing, too, with the hitting in the first day, I know there's been a lot of discussion. Shohei Otani has had 39 road starts in his career. 32 of those he hit. 7 of them, he didn't even hit that game, so I don't know what that was all about. But he always hit in the first inning. So if you're hitting in the first or the third or first or third up, you're still hitting in the first. So he's used to that, so I don't expect that to be an issue at all on the road.
He's been hitting. He's been slugging of late. This whole lineup for the Dodgers has been built on slug. We have certainly seen that the last week.
So the thing about it, the Dodgers have been hitting the ball out of the ballpark. They've hit home runs in 7 straight. 6 of those they've won. Today, though, Seth Lugo has only given up 1 home run this month. And his last 2 starts has not given up a home run. So something's going to give this afternoon.
Yeah, the Dodgers somewhat familiar with Seth Lugo, right? They faced him when he was a Padre a couple years ago, but he's been a different guy. He was a Cy Young Award runner-up a season ago and a big part of the Kansas City rotation. And the Royals, of course, trying to snap a 6-game losing streak, so you know he's going to bring it. And Shohei Otani will as well. We can't wait for the 3rd Otani bump day of the year.
It's going to be a great matchup. Enjoy the barbecue there in the booth, gentlemen, and hopefully it's a great game to call as well. We'll see you again in 15 minutes. So Shohei's only pitched 1 inning in each of his first 2 starts of this season. Gave up 1 run on 2 hits in that first outing, followed by a clean inning in the second start. Nomar, what improvements are you hoping to see from Shohei once again today that we saw from the first start to the second start?
Well, Jerry kind of touched on it earlier, and he really talked about, you know, that glove side command, especially with his fastball. We're going to go to the K zone and look. We look at the first game that he had, his first outing, and, you know, he's... This is like rehab for him. Rehab starts where you're working on things. And we can see here, trying to get that glove side command of that fastball, and he just keeps pulling in, especially on lefties, but even on righties, as he's trying to go out there and really just trying to get that feel, that release point as well, to try to get that corner of those pitches. So struggled a little bit in that inning, like, all right. But then the next one, have to make adjustment. Sometimes when you do, you go with breaking balls. You say, okay, let me see if I can help with my release point. I want to go inside. I'm still having trouble maybe with that fastball command. So let me go to another pitch when I want to show something in on that glove side. So he really went to the breaking ball. You see just kind of the check swing that tells you how good of the break that he had on those pitches, but still trying to find it, still trying to work on it. Here's one where the fastball, but see how that went over the middle of the plate? Still doesn't like that. He still wants to get more on the inner half without necessarily having to kind of pull that ball way down in. But we still know he has some devastating off-speed pitches to get the swing and miss. So obviously working on things. This is a natural progression. We say that all the time when guys are actually going down in the minors and working on things and they're trying to get a feel. He's just doing it on the biggest stage and at the big league level. No problem, but really impressive. But hopefully today we can see more command. I know we say that every single time about a pitcher, but it's true. You know, and I'm sure he's looking at that. See if I can command with that fastball, especially that glove side, and then see the sharpness of the breaking ball.
Absolutely. Work on all his pitches, but hopefully after that second inning is around 25 to 35 pitches. It's all about that buildup, getting him ready for the second half of the season, and more importantly, postseason, making sure he's max effort, 90 to about 100 pitches heading into that postseason.
And what's also interesting is offensively, Shohei Otani hasn't missed a beat at the plate when he's also been the starting pitcher. In his 2 starts, Shohei's gone 4 for 8 with a single, double, triple, and a homer and 7 RBIs in those 2 games, Jerry. I know it's a small sample size, but he has been at his best as a hitter on the days he pitches.
We got to remember, I know it's kind of new to us seeing Shohei Otani in Dodger blue take the hill, but this is what he's done all his life. He's used to this. Last season was a little different for him where he never pitched. He's used to being a guy that goes out there and pitch every 5th or 6th day and also supports himself at the plate. So he wants runs scored and he could do it himself. So this is normal for Shohei Otani.
Normal for him. You know, people can ask, so what do you expect from him on the day he pitches? The same thing we've been expecting on a regular basis, because he expects the same out of himself, that he's going to go out there and produce on the offensive side. I mean, that's really what he has been doing. That's what we expect, and hopefully he continues. You know, the one thing, though, that's really interesting that we've seen is that he really hasn't stolen bases, you know, since he's been coming back from pitching. And which is great, which is good, which is by design, which is another thing that we were talking about earlier about, do you move him differently in the lineup? Because that's another reason, because it's okay that he's not a threat over there when he steals. So maybe you put him maybe somewhere else where some guys like a Mookie Betts, who is a threat and can be on base for him. So those are the things that you just adjust because he is pitching, and understandably so.
He hasn't even attempted a stolen base in more than a month, and a lot of that is because he is now back on the mound pitching for the Dodgers.
Today is Otani's start day. What's it like behind the scenes? What is he like on start day?
Honestly, he's very quiet, right? He has his routine. You can say hi to him. You can say what's it like. It's not like a don't talk to me type. So, but you know, it is his time, you know, and you know he takes it serious, and I'm looking forward to, you know, keep watching him and building up. And you know, it's a very interesting build up, right? Because he can't go down to the minor leagues and kind of have that build-up process. So, you know, this is a great, you know, kind of stepping stone, you know, for him. And, you know, today will be fun. I was very, very surprised for him to be 99, 100 miles an hour the last time. So, you know, he's just so special.
Third start on the mound as a Dodger. It's the first one on the road, though, and it's the first time ever pitching at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, where it's really hot today. Jerry, what are you hoping to see out of Shohei, the pitcher, today?
I want him to be efficient as a pitcher. Hopefully he's got quick outs down in the zone, pitch to soft contact. In order to do that, I think he needs to get ahead with that fastball, glove side and arm side, to utilize all his pitches.
Yeah, I think we showed that in the K-zone earlier, where he was kind of struggling with that glove side fastball. So hopefully, as he's searching for it, maybe works on that and finds that today. So that'd be good. And we know the velocity is going to be there. So just looking for some of the movement on his pitches.
It's the first time he's done this, though, in 2 years, where he's warming up in the bullpen. Then he's going to go bat. And first pitch of the game is still another 10.5 minutes away. And then it'll be another, who knows, maybe 10 minutes before he takes the mound, Omar.
Yeah, but you know what? This is Shohei Otani, right? This is what makes him so great and so special, and why we are all glued and watching everything he does, because he's the only one who can do it.
He better hurry up. It's 10 minutes away. He's the leadoff hitter.
That's right. He's got to finish warming up the arm, though, and then he's going to go do his thing at the plate. Maybe even hit a leadoff bomb. We'll see. Dodgers and Royals coming up. Yes, Shohei pulling double duty today. He's still warming up in the bullpen, Nomar. He's got to lead off this game in less than 5 minutes.
He's just getting warm, Don. Just, you know, even though it's supposed to be really hot out there, you know, but listen, it's Shohei Otani. Don't worry about him. He'll let you know when he's ready. He's just going to come in, walk in there. Listen, his stuff will be on the on-deck circle. He doesn't need to go into the dugout. It's like, hey, somebody put my glove down in the dugout for me. I'm just going to go straight to the on-deck circle, get ready, and go hit a bomb.
You see Will right there? I just texted Will, and Shohei is pointing to the iPad. I just texted, hey, guys, get to the on-deck circle. Show you're leading off in 4.5 minutes, brother.
Yeah, 4 minutes away from first pitch. He'll be facing Seth Lugo, and Shohei still has a baseball in his hand, throwing him his last couple of warm-up pitches. But this is the first time we're able to see him do this in a road starts in Dodgers road grays. First pitch against the Royals is coming up. Shohei will have a bat in his hand next time you see him.
From warming up in the bullpen to the batter's box and now to the mound, Shohei Otani makes his third start of the season and his first ever in Kansas City at Kauffman Stadium. Back on the mound for the first time since 2023, when he had his second of 2 Tommy John surgeries. He did not pitch all of last year, his first season as a Dodger. He's gone an inning in each of his first 2 starts. Dave Roberts said that Otani is likely to go 2 innings today.
Third start of the season for Shohei Otani. His first pitch to India, fastball in the outer third, strike 1. It's a scoreless inning for Otani against the Nationals last Sunday. Struck out his first 2 hitters as a Dodger through 18 pitches, 12 for strikes. Swinging a foul ball back. Fastball 98. Statcast 3D is powered by Google Cloud.
And this is what he's done this year, relied predominantly on the sweeper and the 4-seamer. We'll mix in the sinker as well. Splitter and cutter and slider, once in a while. But remember, this is over the course of those 2 starts. Last start was against all left-handed hitters. You saw what he did there. Basically mowed right through them.
On an 0-2 pitch. 100 but high.
He's listed 6'3", right at 200 pounds. He's a phenomenal pitcher, great mechanics. They're working him into shape.
Now the velocity is certainly there. In fact, his first quote-unquote start back in the middle of June, he did hit triple digits with the fastball. Now these are what most pitchers would have as rehab outings in the minors, but it's not as if the Dodgers were planning on sending their best hitter to Double-A Tulsa.
No.
Sorry, drillers.
Yeah, he won't be rehabbing there. He's right here. He's really something.
And there's triple digits.
There you go.
Wow.
Yep. No wonder when he hits, he has an elbow pad, a wrist pad to protect that valuable right arm.
How about the first 3 pitches, all 4-seam fastballs, but goes 95, 98, 100. So basically that's at least 2 different pitches, maybe 3 as a hitter, just because of velocity.
Skied high into shallow center field. Him going back from second, and he calls off Pages to make the catch.
This is the 4th time that the Royals have faced Otani. Of course, all those previous 3 were when Otani was with the Angels and they were in Anaheim. And Otani has pitched very well against the Royals. 7 shutout innings, 11 strikeouts a couple of years ago. 8 shutout innings, 13 strikeouts the year before that. He's only ever given up 1 run to the Royals. And Vinny Pasquantino takes strike 1.
And there it was, a little bit harder. 1 mile an hour harder.
Almost the exact same pitch, except, like you said, Hud, 1 tick faster at 100.
And he knows what Vinny's job is. That's his premier spot, is to drive in runs.
Otani checks Witt on second, focuses on Pasquantino, and busts 100 on the inside corner.
So notice that. So you said inside corner, so that's glove side. But he's got a barrier. He's got the left-handed hitter, so he can't yank that pitch so much.
On the ground to second. Kim has 1, and there is 2. Tailor-made 4-6-3 double play and a scoreless first for Otani. Shohei Otani's 2nd inning of work. First time this season. He's going to go multiple frames on the mound. Gave up a base hit to Bobby Witt Jr., then walked Garcia, but got out of the first with a double play ball. So he'll face 5, 6, and 7 for Kansas City now.
First up and down for Shohei. Again, a pretty efficient first inning, only 14 pitches at that big double play.
That first inning, Shohei Otani got it over with a nice double play. 102. Vinny hit that ball pretty hard, but he had no chance to outrun it. Now a little mutual respect there between Junior and Otani. How about that? 102 Vinny hit.
Incredible. And the velocity has been back for Shohei Otani. He's averaging nearly 2 miles an hour faster on his four-seamer this year than he did the last time he pitched in 2023. It's been impressive what Shohei's done coming back from his 2nd Tommy John surgery. And in fact, you ready for this? So that's the first time that Shohei's thrown 102 in a major league game. He has thrown 102 in the World Baseball Classic. That was 2 years ago. And in fact, the 102-mile-an-hour fastball he threw in the WBC was against Vinny Pasquantino.
How about that?
So he's saved it for Vinny.
Team Italian. Is that right? Has he played on the Italian team then?
Vinny, yep.
All right.
And was in the Tokyo Dome, too, a couple of years ago.
Nice.
Right-handed hitting veteran backstop / first baseman / DH Salvador Perez. Strike 1 on the outside corner. Pop back. 2 strikes on 2 pitches. Again to a righty. And Ike, you've been making that point.
So good job right there going glove side. And I will say that he's just coming off of facing a left-hander that forced him to have to hit that glove side. He couldn't go too far in, so the adjustment has been made.
Perez pulls the hands in, takes it to center, and Pages runs it down.
Shohei really doing it right now. 6 pitches, he's got 3 outs. The double play, Pasquantino, and after just throwing 2 pitches on the outer part of the plate, he's able to run one in against Perez and can't do anything with that.
Now the rookie Caglione. Swing and a miss on a 100-mile-per-hour heater from Otani.
You see Caglione swinging outside of the zone.
Down the line, hooking foul, strike 2. Another 1-2 from Otani. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
There's that slider right there. It stays on the outer part of the plate.
Slider on the side of the ball. Now you see it. And look at that. Just dips about 4 inches, 5 inches. And he swung over the top of it.
Talked about it. You know, with Shohei today, he's doing a little bit of everything. He's pitching to contact. He's getting swing and miss when he needs it. Getting the double play. Moving the ball all around.
First pitch strike called against Nick Lofton.
Much like last outing, though, very sweeper and four-seam heavy.
Ooh.
Okay, this is his pitch arsenal over his career. Okay, the four-seamer, we've seen it: sweeper, splitter, cutter, curve, sinker, slider. But it's all four-seamers and sweepers and sliders so far in this one.
Another 0-2 to Lofton.
He's got an excellent split finger pitch. And that pitch is designed to come out of his hand like a fastball. And here's what he's throwing today.
Now the 0-2.
Wow,
just
right? He's thrown 11 pitches this inning, only one ball.
Popped him up. Rushing toward the on-deck circle. Makes the catch. A 1-2-3 and scoreless second inning for Shohei Otani.
There's so much anticipation and excitement every time the Dodgers are going to send Shohei Otani to the mound. Nomar, today we saw him throw 2 innings. We also saw him throw the fastest pitch of his entire career, a fastball at 101.7 miles an hour. So I guess Shohei's feeling pretty good.
101, John. And yes, he is feeling pretty good. We're coming in this game, we were talking about that it wasn't about the velocity, because we noticed that the velocity has been there in his last couple of outings, so that's great. Now it's just a matter of him being able to find that consistent command with his pitches, and that also takes time. And man, and even in this short period of time, he's making the adjustments even in the middle of this game. So that is great to see, because that also tells you that you're able to feel some of the things that you're doing, and when you're able to feel it and recognize that as it's happening, you're able to make the adjustments, and he did that, and I think that's a positive.
I love that he has something in the tank. Obviously, he sits around 95 to 98, but when he has 101 in that back pocket, that is a good feeling and a good sign, because we know he is completely healthy. Now it's all about the buildup, making sure he has extra innings under his belt. Hopefully next time, maybe 3 innings, possibly 35, 45 pitches, depending how he feels. So today was a great sign. I know we lost the ball game, but you got to look this thing as a whole. We want to win another World Series. We want to go back-to-back. And Shohei Otani needs to be in this rotation to give us the best chance. So good to see Shohei feel great. And he looked very, very sharp.
And, and I don't think for him, it's not about velocity. I don't think he's really looking, because we've heard him talk about, I like to be around early on, like, 95, 96, something like that. And here he is at 101. But at the same time, we've also seen him introduce more of a sinker, more going, listen, I can have a pitch that maybe pitch to more contact, maybe get some ground balls, whatever it may be, to save that and know when I need it, I have 101.
Shohei, were you happy with the command in the 2 innings today?
そうですね。細かいところは別として、積極的にゾーンをこう攻めれたというのは良かったかなと思います。
You've done this your whole career, but you haven't done it in a while. Are you adjusting to going back to being the two-way player still?
そうですね。今日はノーヒットでしたけど、単純に打撃のアプローチとしてはそこまでこうなんですかね、いい結果を生むアプローチではなかったのかなっていうところなので、バッティングとピッチングそれぞれ同じ日にやりますけど、基本的には分けて考えるので、ピッチングが良くてバッティングは良くなかったなっていう一日だったなと思います。
As you were going through the rehab process, did you imagine coming back and throwing 102 miles an hour?
そうですか、ライブ BP で多分投げ続けたら投げてはなかったのかなとは思うので、そういう意味ではやっぱりこう実戦で、早めに短いイニングでしか投げることによってそういう球速帯に慣れていくっていうのはいいことじゃないかなと思うので、そこも今日一つ良かったところかなとは思ってます。
There haven't been a ton of guys that go through 2 major elbow surgeries and come back with the same stuff. I mean, was that ever a worry for you? And how encouraging has it been to see all your stuff kind of playing at the level it has these last couple outings?
1回目よりやっぱり感覚は術後からすごい良かったので、術式も多少違いますし、そういう意味では1回目よりもだいぶ良かったので、ドクターとの話の中でも戻る確率はやっぱり高いっていう話ではあったので自信はありましたけど、球速帯だけではなくて投げ方も含めて、まだまだちょっと改善の余地はあるとは思うので、これからかなと思ってます。
You have to get off the mound. You're done pitching. You had to rush to the batter's box to hit. Were you really ready to hit in your second at bat?
そうです。そこまで
ピッチングをやってるからさっきも言いましたけど基本的には分けて考えるのでまあ結果は悪かったですけど基本的には DH でなんていうんですかね、一回一回代打みたいに出るよりはまあ、マウンドからそのままの流れでいった方が自分の中ではナチュラルな感じはするかなと思ってます。どうですかね、まあ現行のルールだとなかなか厳しいのでそうですね、今のところチャンスはないかなと思ってます。
Tails out. Thank you. Dave, in the context of a loss, was it encouraging to see the way Otani pitched and the way Freddie came out of his slump?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in the context of the loss, getting Shohei through 2 innings, throwing the baseball the way he did, certainly a positive. And then you look at what Freddie did today, on base 5 times, stayed at a big part of the field, took some walks. So that was a big plus, big boost for us. You know, never feels good to lose a game, but I think those are a couple silver linings. So, and I think you can't take the competitor out of the player, right? You know, there's a little bit of stress, and then that's when you started seeing the hundreds and trying to bully guys. And I still thought the sweeper was good, the sinker was good, but you know, no one knows himself better than he does. And so, again, today I thought he was still in control, and it was still good to see triple digits.
You guys expected 102 to be there coming off the second, TJ?
I didn't know it was 102, so no, I didn't. I just saw 100, so 102, I didn't expect that. So now I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that he feels good coming out of today.
Yeah, it was the fastest pitch of his career. Do you feel like that was due to the adrenaline in that moment?
I think there was some adrenaline. There was some knowing that you're only going to go 2 innings, knowing that you don't want to give up any runs. So I think all of that combined, I guess, brought us to 102.
All right, so really good day for Shohei Otani. We heard Dave Roberts talking about it a little bit there. Nomar, what did you see from the big show on the mound?
You know, what I saw was some adjustments from Shohei, which is really, really good to see in the course of a game. That's what we were talking about earlier, how he's able to feel some of those, what he's doing on the mound and make those adjustments. We're going to the case, and we talked about the struggles on the glove, the command on the glove side. Well, here he is against a righty, trying to go with the breaking ball away, trying to really get that glove side, and then you can just really tell how he's just really pulling the ball. It doesn't matter what pitch, whether it's his breaking ball, whether it's his fastball, he's just really pulling it onto that glove side going over. And then, you know, even heard Eric Carroll talk about, well, sometimes with a lefty, sometimes it helps because you're like, okay, now there's just kind of a tunnel I'm aiming at between that lefty and the inner corner. But here he is, he's really dotting it now, coming in with the fastball. I mean, the location of these fastballs now on the glove side were really, really impressive. There's the one that we were talking about, 102. But even so, we even saw him struggle with that even with the lefty early on. So we can see him getting better as he's having more outings out there. And that's so great to see. And then here it is now, okay, now that we're working on the glove side, what about all the other spots? Got to get up in the zone. That's where they want it. It's a good spot with that fastball up in the zone. Get the fly out, kind of jam the batter as well. Here he is with the breaking ball and getting the swing and miss as well. So I think all in all, when you look at just his pitches, I mean, we're talking about being competitive too. We talk about some of the flaws that Dustin May has. That pitch was competitive right out of his hand to get the swing and miss. Here was another one to get the pop up. But all in all, I just love that the progression that he's making. And if, you know, you're talking about always moving forward, always making, you know, maybe subtle improvements, and they're not subtle, but he's just making improvements each and every outing and understanding that. And even in his interviews, he talked about, he's like, yeah, I did some good things that I like, but there's still things I need to get better at. And that's normal and understandable.
Yeah, I love the adjustments he's making, but again, he's getting better and stronger every start. That's what we want to see. Remember, he didn't have any rehab outings, so for him to be able to really throw a lot of strikes, and there are really good strikes. Very few up in the middle of the plate so hitters can drive it. A lot of balls down. Earlier, obviously, especially against Garcia, had a hard time finding that breaking ball down and away. But all in all, a really good outing for Shohei Otani. I love now that he's really gone to the windup. I know when he was with the Angels, he was more out of the stretch. He's gone to that windup, kind of an old school delivery. Little old school David Cone. I know he's bigger than David Cone. I like that delivery.